Hey everyone, it's Argonaut here from Return of the Fan, and got some more news about the behind-the-scenes saga on Batwoman um, regarding Ruby Rose and all of the accusations she's been making. So Warner Brothers and all of the current crew have hit back, saying that her accusations are unfounded, and she was the one that was actually behaving badly on set, and she was actually fired because of this. So let's have a look and see what Ruby Rose has come up with, because she's responded with a bunch of emails and text messages. So it just sounds like all of the behind the scenes stuff in Batwoman is an absolute shit show. So let's have a look. So in support of her claims, so this on Bounding into Comics, in support of her claims of mistreatment and abuse on the set of DC's Flailing, the CW series, former Batwoman star Ruby Rose recently made public a number of emails and text messages that showed just how unhappy she was working on the show. That doesn't really mean much, it just means you're unhappy. Do you have any proof of these accusations? Let's have a read. Rose shared these correspondences with friends and cast members in an Instagram story alongside some added commentary given to further illustrate the points of her allegations. The first screenshot she shared was from a February 2020 email to a woman named Carol, who was believed to be Rose's manager, in which Rose confessed she is about done with the show due to the on-set atmosphere, an apparent investigation, and her now infamous neck surgery. So I really find it appalling that she was injured so badly she had to have neck surgery, and so the producers of the show should have been held to account for that. But obviously she didn't want to press charges or anything like that. So notwithstanding that, what else did she say? I won't take crumbs, wrote Rose. Do better. Use this as a way to change the industry and the world. But keep up the smear campaign, because it only fires me up to continue this when it's the last thing I wanted. Doesn't really call out any of the accusations and things that Warner Brothers made against you. In the next entry to her story, Rose says that she was forced to shoot cover photos 6 days after her neck surgery. She added that the emails related to these shoots are heartbreaking but revealing, though she did not provide any for her followers to peruse. So again, we just have her word for that, right? There's no actual evidence that she was forced to do that. Give us some evidence that it actually occurred. Because we don't have the inside story, we don't know about those things. We need to see the evidence. Next was a screen grab of a text exchange with an individual entered in her phone simply as Cam, who might be fellow Batwoman star Camrys Johnson, in which Rose talked more about the photo shoots and the surgery while also showing off her bandaged scar. As I was reading, I went, "Oh nah," out loud, "so I'm glad you turned them down for now," wrote Cam, seemingly on the actress's side in this exchange. "That crap would have sucked, exactly right. Heal up the right way and you'll be back to playing in no time, dope." So he's actually come out against her with her allegations at the moment, so I guess it may be from him, who knows, it could be someone else. Again, not too much evidence of what's being gone on. You need to show the evidence, Ruby Rose. Rose then shared part of a conversation between her and a person identified only as Rachel Batwoman, a possible sobriquet for co-star Rachel Scarston, concerning the oft-mentioned injured production assistant Elise, whom the actress claims she urged to seek treatment. Now that is true. We know that actually occurred. This poor person, Elise, was left paralyzed after something fell on her head, which is absolutely terrible. And should never have happened. In the email, Rachel explained that Elise kept trying to get her to get help, and she wouldn't. It was bad, adding that Batwoman showrunner Callan Dry sent her an email that I haven't responded to yet because I feel like I really need to say my piece. This is awful, the individual concluded. In a caption affixed to the screenshot, Rose further explained Elise was an actual PA. The person in the article, presumably former PA Alexander J. Baxter, who recently made headlines after calling Rose a dictator in response to her accusations, isn't on the call sheet. I checked 3 months worth. Again, there's no we know that the actual event happened that left this person paralyzed, but there's not a huge amount of other stuff going there. While both Rachel Dry's while both Rachel and Dries conceded, as did Rose did in a subsequent email, that the crew was working day and night while people were getting badly hurt, the big concern on everyone's mind, including Caroline Dries, was apparently a no yelling clause. In a message sent to Rose, Dries claims to be appalled by the on-set verbal abuse, though Rose does accuse the showrunner of offloading the concern to a director who wasn't even directing that episode. So it sounds like a lot of people were mouthing off to each other, just terrible environment to work in, so no wonder the show is absolute crap. um, and we can see why. But it's amazing that all of these left-wing people, they goes on so much about social justice and all this kind of stuff, but when it comes to the stuff that they're involved in, they're just as bad as everyone else. They're no different to anyone else. They're just as bad to everyone. So there's more stuff going on. There's no kind of hard evidence of anything. As she continued in an Instagram story, Rose also accused Dries of being an inauthentic LGBT activist and trying to monetize gays in order to make people feel included. Rose also intimated that she had emails testifying to this bombshell as fact. Off to bed, but deciding between releasing Caroline's email about not being an LGBT activist or feminist. Just release it, right? If you're making an accusation, release the evidence so that we know, we can make our own judgment. If you're not going to release the evidence, we're not going to know who to believe. Release the evidence, Ruby Rose. At the same time, she also sets her sights on Batwoman executive producer Greg Berlanti for being, in her view, two-faced. All left-wing people are two-faced because they say what they want you to do, but then they do something which is completely different. Look at all the bloody elites at the Flop 26 climate change conference. They're all hypocrites. In an email sent from Berlanti to Rose, the former can be seen showering glowing praise on the actress, despite his accused questioning of her work ethic following her injury. Though Rose noted that she still wants to believe Berlanti has a human side, she added that there is a report way too intense for release that presumably proves otherwise. Again, you need to release the evidence. This doesn't really help us. You haven't put anything which will clearly show that these things happened. Again, hinting at the existence of a report that may deal with investigations into on-set accidents and injuries, Rose reminded the Batwoman production team both that she was still here and they had still had an opportunity to change things. Oh, she's getting threatening now, right? Just release the evidence, Ruby Rose. A number of her one-time co-stars and Warner Brothers television representatives have all refuted Rose's claims, but much like Ray Fisher, she shows no sign of going away or staying silent. So, there we go. Don't you just love it when the left start eating their own, right? I mean, Caroline Dries and the writers and the production team, they're all about diversity and inclusion and so on, but then they treat people as complete shit. If Ruby Rose's allegations are true, but we won't know until she actually releases some proper evidence to show that this is what is actually happening. So what do you make of Ruby Rose's allegations and these new so-called emails and tweets that she's been showing? To me, it doesn't look like there's any evidence as yet, but maybe she has more to show. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give me a thumbs down. And if you like the video, please subscribe, as it just helps YouTube to notice my content. Anyway, hopefully I will catch you in the next video.